Hi. That's right in my eyes. Let me move this just a little bit. And good morning or afternoon or wherever you're at. So today's November 28th, and did you like the little birthday jazz I was playing? Today's my 60th birthday. I'm all dutied up and I don't have any place to go, which is fine. I'm going to be here with Jim, and I've gotten all my lovely birthday wishes from my friends and family, which is fantastic. And I'm so thankful and grateful and excited about being 60, believe it or not. I get that there's a lot of people that don't like to celebrate their birthdays. I always have. And I don't know if you get anything out of this. It's not supposed to be about me, but maybe just to encourage you to celebrate yourself. And that's what we're doing today, starting for my 60th birthday. But just because it's my 60th birthday doesn't mean that I don't want this next little quilt that we're going to do be something really special for you going forward into 2021. 2020 goes without saying for everyone. We all have and are experiencing the same thing. There's been weddings and funerals and special birthdays and get-togethers and everything that we've all had to not celebrate as usual. And I don't know. I'm just not going to let it get me down. Jim and I are going to have, oh, well, let me read you the card that Elaine sent me all the way from Hawaii, where they spend part of their winters. How much better could this be? Coffee, brunch, Netflix, dinner, wine, bed by 9. That's so perfect, I can't tell you. So thanks, Elaine, for sending this card. And I'm just going to share a few things with you because it's been a good morning, even though nobody's here with me. I FaceTime my kids in Idaho, Paige and her family, and look how sweet. What I want you to see is Hadley's 8. She turned all her O's into little hearts, which I think is so great. And then as long as we're on this roll, I have to show you how my daughter and her husband Chris really spoiled me. Look at this paper that my gifts were in. Does she know me or what? It's almost kind of a citrine with a kiwi green hint in it, a limey. This is my favorite color. I think that I can make a copy of this paper onto fabric paper through the copy machine and get a piece of this. And if I can, I'm going to use it in my quilt. Today we're starting My Color Is quilt. Remember that? So let's go through this real quick, because if you don't like the chit chat and chatter, just skip ahead to where you see fabric, and then you'll know we're talking about the quilt, and you don't have to experience any chitter chatter. So my favorite Jo Malone perfume, which I don't splurge on for myself. I have in the past, and then I saved and decided, I told Paige that for my 60th year, I wanted to have a perfume that I really liked again. And I bought one for myself, maybe August, September. And oh my gosh, look what, then I called her and I said, Paige, I can't believe this. I don't like this perfume I bought. Anyway, she sent me a whole little sample. And if you could only smell me, oh, I love it. Are you into scents like I am? It just makes you feel better. Do you put perfume on when you're home by yourself? I think we should. Anyway, this little sample of citrus, which is so perfect for my colors that I'm going to show you today. This is the one I have on. It's lime, basil, and mandarin. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, so, and then this is why this YouTube channel is so important to me. I think I've said in one of the other videos, I've thought about doing it, and lo and behold, I waited until I'm not saying, the only reason again that I bring anything up or talk about it is not for it to be about me, but maybe someone else can go, yeah, that's how I feel, or we can inspire each other or something, because it's not easy. But This is the heaviest I have ever been in my whole life, and I'm not comfortable with it. I don't like the way I look or the way I feel, actually. And as I see my mom aging and the struggles that she goes through with extra weight on her, I realize that there's a lot of things we can't help her with because, you know, it's hard to help somebody when you have your own ailments and your own weight to deal with, and then you have to help somebody else with their ailments and weight. So my whole family's been on Weight Watchers. When the pandemic hit and my sisters were doing really good, my mom and I have gone back and forth. When I couldn't go to the meetings, I kind of quit. And today, of all days, when I ate Thanksgiving dinner and cakes and all this stuff, and I'm going to have my birthday, I went back to Weight Watchers this morning, went to a meeting. So I'm not counting today, but I weighed in and I am starting tomorrow. So if there's anybody out there trying to get healthier or just feel better weight-wise, you know, chime in and we can do it together, because it's a real struggle for me. And it has been, not when I was younger, but, you know, as I'm getting older. So I'm just putting that out there. It is a struggle and I'm working on it, and I will talk about anything. So if anybody wants to share in their comments about what they're going through, you know, do it. We're supposed to be friends here. That's what we're here for. Hopefully I'll teach you something along the way and we'll have fun. But so on that note, when I got back, I knew what I was gonna plan for my dinner today, and I'll tell you about my my special birthday cake treat. But then when I got back, Jim said, there's a package on the front porch. So not only did Paige spoil me with, oh, and Jim got me this really beautiful cross necklace that is going to be special to me. I'll always remember my 60th year. But Paige and Chris got me all these wonderful things. Then there's a package. Have you heard of this? Milk. Oh my gosh, it's the prettiest tin and it's hinged, so you have to open it this way. Weight Watchers might not start for another week. Can you see all those treats in there? I already took one of the chocolate truffles. That wasn't even breakfast, that was my snack, because I'm going to show you what I had for breakfast. So thank you, Paige and Chris, for that, and the perfume and all the other stuff. But since my birthday falls around Thanksgiving, my sister is such a fabulous cook and baker. I always get to pick what I want. Well, we all do for our birthday. And in the past, I've picked chocolate and red velvet and carrot cake. And this year, when we lived in Boise, Idaho, this restaurant Rembrandt's, which is no longer the same as it was, but they had the best bread pudding, the best. And I have been craving bread pudding ever since, and I don't eat it because I have found that carbs and a lot of bread and that kind of stuff, I think I might have allergies to it or bad reaction because my joints hurt and I get swollen and my eyes get puffy. So if I look puffy, I've been eating bread pudding for 3 days because my sister made me bread pudding as my special. She's texting me right now. So she made me this special bread pudding, and can you see that? She did have homemade whipped cream to put on top, but this little glaze that's on there is like eggs and vanilla and sugar and this hot glaze with raisins, which are optional, but I have raisins in there. But if this is really something that is making your mouth water, go to foodnetwork.com, and I put in best bread pudding, or I put in bread pudding and it comes up best bread pudding. There's a little rum in here. I am telling you, oh, I want to bite right now, but I'm not going to. I'll be eating it after, and then I'll have it so I already had some for breakfast. I'll have some for lunch, and then I'll have some for dinner with my wine and everything else. So, okay, I think we're done with my birthday, I think. So let's get started on, oh, and Rex gave me this pretty shawl. I'm all dutied up with birthday today. Do you do that? Do you want to wear all your new stuff? The little lipstick Paige gave me. Pumpkin mask soap that she gave me I used this morning. So do you do that? I hope you do. I hope you pamper yourself and make it special. Anyway, you see what we're doing today. My color is Black of the Month. I'm giving you now kind of the first block to start. December, everybody's going to be busy. I'm going to give you December to kind of think about and start your first block. I'm going to give you a few blocks to think about going forward so you can make a plan. Because I'm planning it as I go, but I do have an idea. So if you guys want to pick colors or try to figure out fabric or yardage, I am mainly grabbing from my scrap. You know, I have a big bin of all these yellow and gold colors. I'm mainly picking from that, but you know, I want you to kind of have an idea what you want to do. So, because I want it to be fun. Again, my color is, I want you to pick your birthstone color. You can do it however you want, but going forward, I'm gonna speak about it and talk about it like you're doing it for yourself and it's your birthstone color. If you want to shake it up and do something different for somebody else in a different color, go ahead. This is your quilt. But that's the point. I want this to be your quilt. I really, really, truly do. I want it to be your color, your quilt, what you want to put in it. And we'll talk about that now, okay? Because I have to grab my journal book. Hold on. And I put the treats right on top of it, so I can move that. So I kind of alluded to this a little bit. I thought it would be so fun. I've been wanting to do kind of a junk journal and make one myself. I haven't done that, but I found this journal. I'll share this with you guys if you want me to. Okay, I found this. I have so many books like this I've started in and not finished. And that is part of my problem is I start things, I have good ideas, and then I drop it. I say I don't have enough time or I lose motivation. And I thought if we did this, I want to journal and do the quilt with you. And I want it to be whatever time that you're working on this to be our time, your time. I want it to be your time to do really something for yourself. So even if you're not into quilting, you just want to journal, let's do that. I had to dig out a lot of my old scrapbooking things and I'm still working on that. I'll share this with you, okay? That was the front page. And this is, my mom said you're always supposed to sign a book when you give it to somebody. And I even do that for myself if I buy myself a book. So this was November 28th, 2015. 2015, that was 5 years ago on my birthday. Paige bought this for me. And I said, "Thank you, sweetie. My goal is to use this book for my designs, my inspiration for Black Thread Studio. May I be as smart, motivated, and successful as Paige is in her photography. My dream is to collaborate with my kids on my first quilt book. Onward and cheers with love." And I signed it to myself. It might seem corny, but I think we have to treat ourselves that way. But how sad that this was 5 years ago and I still have the same dreams and I haven't done anything. So I have the makings of a book that I've been working on that I want to surprise you guys with in 2021. I don't know how soon it will be because I'm working on the ending things that need to be done, but I'm trying to make my dreams come true. So grab a journal. And I want you to start journaling this. It does not need to be pretty. So, I mean, that's not even cute. But I just stuck some things on there. I can always add to it. And this is the first block. This is what I have so far. So we're going to talk about this today, but here's the fabrics that are going to be in my first block. This is going to be the center block. There's going to be 9 patches. This is going to be the center. And I'll show you in a little bit, but I have the measurements written down here. We will go over them really quick if you want to write them down as we go. I am also going to have really simple directions, cutting sizes, and that kind of thing for you that I can send to you, what you will have to do. So when I gave away the tassel, let's see, when I gave away the tassel, I also gave away this little embroidery thing that I did. I'm not going to grab it now to show you, but I had 3 people email me and say, in the subject line, it was supposed to say, "Me, please." And then I added them to my Black Thread Studio YouTube group. Black Thread Studio peeps, you are. And if I have anything to give away, if you're in that email, you'll automatically get it. This time, if you're going to do the block of the month and you want the monthly simple reminder directions, we're going to mainly go through it on YouTube here, but I will send you little directions. Email me at blackthreadstudio@yahoo.com. That's at Yahoo. And in the subject, put "My Color Is." My Color Is. And then I'll add you, and you will get the little directions for that month's block. So December, the plan is to start on this first one. We're still going to work on it in January. I just got another text from my I hate saying ex-husband, but my kid's dad saying happy birthday. That was nice. Anyway, we're going to then in January, we'll get the directions for the second block. I'm actually going to show you that today, but we're going to hand quilt that. Well, no, you don't have to hand quilt it. I'm going to hand quilt mine. So during January, I'm going to hand quilt and get it ready. We're going to do quilt as you go. No sashing is the style. If you haven't seen that and you're interested, you can Google that or look it up on YouTube. But we're going to do that. So let's get going. Here's the journal. I would love for you to journal along. I think it would be fun. And here's what we're doing. So you might want to start writing this down. Okay. Oh, I wanted to show you that. Hold on. This is how simple I did this. I will do a bigger one, but this was just when I was at lunch one day sketching out. So it's going to be 9 patch, big quilt. Each square is going to end up being about 22 inches. So, you know, what are we going to end up with? Like a 66 by 66 quilt, something like that. So nice size for yourself. We're starting with this middle one where I have pentagon wreath. This one, I'm backwards, but I think this is the one I'm going to show you today. Does that say 4 squares or 4 by 4? Oh no, I'm so sorry. It's not that one. It's this one. So we're going to do the middle row first. We're starting in the middle, then we'll go to the left one. So we're going over. It's going to be the 4 by 4 squares. I started that one, so we'll talk about it today if you want to start thinking about your colors. And then each block is going to be surrounded with like a 2-inch border. And I'm going to pick 4 different fabrics to do on each side. And I'm going to do them all the same. So the same fabric will be on the top of each one, on each side, so that when we sew them together, no 2 fabric borders will be side by side. That's how I'm doing mine. So let's talk about the pentagon, and then I'll talk a little bit about the 4 by 4 square. This one that is blank, I do want to talk about that one. This, I was thinking about this anyway, but then Karen, sweet Karen, you guys are so sweet. So each one of you I will call sweet, whatever. Sweet Karen. She has, Karen, you're outside of San Diego, right? She has a twin sister that lives in Wisconsin. And she said there's a block called the Twin Block. I'm not sure. I Googled it, but is it called the Twin Star, Karen? Anyway, this middle block that's going to be right up under your chin when you cuddle up with your blanket, that block you get to pick. Your favorite block, whatever you want to do, that blank one is for you. So think about what you're going to want to put in there. It's going to have to be about an 18-inch square. That is what that middle is, 18-inch. I'm giving you cut directions, 18-inch cut. So then when we sew it down, you know, it's going to end up to be like 17.5. But as we go, I'll give you all those directions. Okay, so start thinking about this one. And I'll go through and I'm going to talk about the pentagon, the squares, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with mine. So Okay, I had a hard time deciding on fabrics. This is my main fabric with the citrine, and I don't know for sure if I'm going to do all 9 patches different fabric. I haven't decided yet. And how much of an accent color I'm going to add. Sometimes in my mind I see this all tone on tone citrine and I think it's going to be beautiful. And then when I show you what I found for my own personal block, you'll see why I kind of changed my mind. I was going to do kind of a black and gold effect, and that's kind of my go-to that I always do, and I wanted to switch it up a little bit. So why don't I just show you what I'm going to do for my own block. I was going through, I have a huge drawer. I have a big wicker dresser downstairs in Black Thread Studio basement, a huge drawer full of old antique napkins, doilies. I went to a garage sale and bought this huge bag. It was like $2 that this lady had, and washed everything and ironed it. And then a few things I've gotten at Goodwill, and I have a few more I'll show you for like 50 cents. So if you like, my problem is I like everything. I like modern, I like old, I love to mix it, but sometimes that's my problem, is I like everything. So I'm trying to narrow down what I like. So anyway, this fabric I absolutely love. It's one of my favorites by Moda. It's a Laundry Basket Sweet Blend, and I love it. Even though I'm not a pink person, I absolutely love this. If I can find more of it, I think I'm going to do all of my backing out of this. If I can't, I might just have to piece it. So I'm looking for more of this. But this is kind of what I was going with when I started thinking, okay, I'm not going to do just the black. I'm going to do this and then incorporate some of these colors. I know this is gray and pink, but when I was going through, I found this. Is that backwards? Yeah, this color is better. I found this really, really cool hanky. And it's not red and it's not orange. I'm calling it a melon color. It's like the perfect melon color with that yellow in there. So I had it down on here, which is kind of busy, but I have, can you see behind me, I have like this stripe. So I was just playing around, and I really, really, really like this. And I think for my block up in the center, somehow I'm just going to applique this on and do that. We will be doing a lot of English paper piecing, hand applique, machine applique. Some of the blocks are pieced, so I'm trying to put a little bit of everything in there in case you hate or love one method, or you can switch it up and do it however you want. So I'll show you this and this don't match, but I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work. So I'll encourage you not to be too matchy as well, because sometimes that's boring. Okay, let's talk about the first block. The first one, this is cut 18 inches. I cut it 18 inches. The middle of the block is going to be the pentagon wreath. Let me show you that a little bit better. Okay. So on the pentagon wreath, I used, so we already talked about EPP a little bit. If you need a refresher, see, I don't want to make these too long. I don't want to make these too long. I just want to get you the basic information and then let us be able to go forward and do it. If you need more direction, just let me know and I can share more. But this is the pentagon. It's a 2.5. It measures 2.5. I get all mine off of paperpieces.com, and I just make my own template. I just make it a little bit bigger out of that template mylar or whatever they call it. Make it a little bit bigger, and then I can trace right through the fabric. and, you know, cut out my pieces. And then do my English paper piecing, of which I glue the edges. I didn't do this because I wanted to, you know, try to keep this short, but I put my, you know, and I glue on my edges. This is going to be a little bit different shape than the hexies. You know, just fold it. I kind of do ends and then go in a clockwise. And then it's easier to take the papers out. So since this is going to be appliqué down and it's flimsy, I stitched all of them together. And I'm going to tell you one little hint that I did. I already took the papers out except for one. When I did this, because it's open, when you get to the end with that back last stitch, I don't cut it off there. I go back in and loop it around and tie it off back here so that any loose strings I have are going to be underneath and not cut and hanging off the ends. Did that make sense? Yeah, I think it did. Okay, so I got all my pentagons together. They're 2.5 inches. I wrote 2 on there, but I measured it's 2.5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. And you know what? They don't have to be this exact size. These are pretty big and they fit on an 18-inch cut square. So after you get all those cut, what I did is I used spray starch to iron everything down really good, my edges. And I will tell you, when I started stitching these, I started on the inside ends because I wanted to make sure the inside was nice and lined up. I thought that that would show more mistakes if these weren't lined up than if my edges weren't lined up here. So I started on the inside and stitched out this way. So then I starched everything and ironed it. Then I went through with my trusty little needle pointer, and what I did is I went underneath. I already pulled this one out, but I put it back in so that you could see. I went through and loosened every single seam just like this, and then I went through, and you can pop them all out really easy. Then I went back in, and I'll have to do this one again since I was messing with it, but then I actually starched it again with all my ends down. Okay, then after you do that, now if I was going to, I thought about, am I going to use this fabric as my center or am I going to cut it up? If I was going to use it in my center, I could have picked that flower and made sure that was centered, which would be pretty, but I decided not to do that. So I just cut so that I could get as much out as I could. And then we're going to find the center of your square here. And I think I grabbed a piece that's not cut square. So don't do what I do, just do what I say, right? Or I'm just not paying attention. So square it up. And then you do that thing where you're going to find the middle, where you just fold it into fourths like that. And then I just use this little presser. You can use your hands, but this gave me a really, really nice little marking. So when I line it, open it up and line it back up, not only do I have my center marked, I have my center, but I have these lines. So when I line up my pentagon, can you guys see that? When I line up my pentagon, I'm going to have those 2 points lined up on my thing, on my line, and then these 2 seams will be lined up here. And I'm going to get that nice and flat. So I am probably, you can just pin it down. I have the fine little applique pins that I can use. Let me grab a few. You know, the fine little ones. those little bitty applique pins so that they're not in your way if you're going to hand stitch it. So I think I am going to hand stitch mine rather than machine stitch. I've kind of decided that I want that look on here. I do not, talking to nothing. I don't like real perfect things. I like machine quilting. It is beautiful when it's, you know, really pretty and perfect. And I do like it, but there's something, all I can say is when I see handwork and it's like distressed and not perfect, my heart literally pitter patters. I get so excited about it. It's like when I see, I'll have to share, I can't think of anybody right now, but when, you know, a lot of people I follow on Instagram, if they have that kind of more worn, old vintage distressed look in their handwork or what they're working on, oh, I just love it. I mean, I get excited. It's like endorphins start pumping through my brain. So I'm going to do all mine in hand. I'm going to applique hand. Again, you don't have to. I might use a spray basting. I haven't decided, or pins, or both. Whatever method that you think will work for you. And then I'll tell you what I decided. Since I pulled that leaf, maybe I should have held on to it. This is not the fabric I'm going to use. I need to go to the store when I can get out. But I loved that melon citrusy color in that hanky. So I mocked this up just to see what will that look like in the middle if I do a big yo-yo. And I really like that. When I hand stitch, I'm going to use, you know what big stitching is. I'm going to use that method, and I'm going to use some variegated floss from the thread gatherer. I have some picked out, but I haven't gotten it yet. And somehow I'm just going to do big stitches. Next month, so this is what I want you to start on in December. In January is when we're going to talk about layering it, having a backing. Just to let you know, your backing, I think it has to be 2 inches bigger, but let's be safe and plan on 3 inches at least. So if you're doing 18-inch for this, add 3 inches and do 21-inch, just to be sure, until I figure out for sure how we're going to do that. We're doing this together, right? So anyway, this is kind of what my first block is going to look like. Now, it isn't just going to be the 18-inch square. And again, I haven't picked my fabric, and I didn't want to cut up that sweet blend that I already showed you. I thought about using it for these borders, but I don't know what I'm going to use it for and if I have enough. So I cut these strips just to give you an idea. It doesn't look bad, but it's not what I want to do. I want it to be more citrine. But anyway, I cut up these strips. So I'm going to give you some more measurements. This is 18-inch square. Your block, 18-inch square. Then you're going to get batting and backing ready that will be 21 inches square. Then you're going to do 4 strips. These are 3 inches cut. They're going to end up being 2.5 inches once we sew them, get everything sewn together. But what I did is, we're going to start on the right hand side. It's my right hand side. And that, I cut it a little bit longer because I'd rather be too long than too short. Cut this 18. Let me move it over so you can see it. Your right hand side, your first one's going to be cut at 18 inches. 18 and a half, I did mine just to be sure. Okay. Then you're going to do the bottom. So you're going to stitch this one on first, trim it so that it's even. Then you're going to have another strip that's 21.5 inches. Can you see? It's going to go across. So then you'll do the bottom. So you're going to start on the right, sew that one, do the bottom. So were these I'm showing you right now are all the same color, I don't think I'm going to do all the same fabric. I was going to switch it up and do, you know, one fabric, four different fabrics. And I might change my mind. That's kind of the beauty of it. Okay, then all the way over on the left. Won't it be cool someday when I have, you know, a nice camera and I really can show you what I want, the way I want it. Okay, then on the left, whoops. Then on the left, you're going to come all the way back down to this corner and sew up that third left-hand side. And then trim it. And then last but not least, the very top one is 24.5 inches. I wrote it down. I'm not looking at the book. I think that's what I remember it to be. But again, if you want the measurements, email me at blackthreadstudio@yahoo and put in the subject line, My Color Is, and each month that we do this, you'll get whatever directions or measurements that you need. And if you guys have any questions at all, please comment or write or just email me, because I want it to be fun, but it is also going to be work. It's time we're putting into this. I want you to end up with a quilt that you absolutely love. So that's kind of how we're going to start with this. Hello again. And if I ever get a stand that doesn't fall over. But so as we're doing this, I talked about big stitch. I want to find a fabric that has the melon and the gold in it, but the thread I have does, and I'm going to do big stitch quilting around the yo-yo this way. I know I'm going to do that in the center to make that kind of a splashy medallion. So I kind of showed this one. I'll just show you some other ideas. Look, I got this at Goodwill for 50 cents, and it had these little coasters in there, which are fun. It had 3 of them. They're kind of Christmassy. They have mistletoe on them. And then there was this extra one. That's kind of flowers. But I thought, oh, would that be pretty? And then I did that yo-yo in there, but I didn't like how it lined up. And I wasn't sure about the color. I was going to do that in the center. So I've played around with a few things and changed my mind, which you can do. That's the part of the fun of it, right? So I kind of feel like I'm done, but you know why I feel like I'm done? Because that bread pudding is sitting right there calling my name. Okay, so we're starting. My Color Is. I hope you're going to do it. I really do. I think it's going to be so much fun, and I want it, I guess, although it's going to be fun, I don't know if I'm the only one feeling this way. I kind of feel like I want to get into my head and my feelings this year by making this for me, spending time doing it for me, and not making all these things for other people. Do you guys feel like sometimes you make things for people and then it was so much work and so much time, and then they don't appreciate it as much as you wanted them to? And then you have people that really do appreciate it, so I don't want to say that, but I think I've had enough of that I feel like I feel like I'm 60. I'm making myself a quilt and putting that time and effort into one for myself. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I really want you to do it, and kind of with the journaling, kind of explore ourselves this year. I don't care what age you are. Let's do it. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys saw from Shirley's Cottage. Oh, anyway, this will be in a playlist listed, My Color Is. I'm going to put BOM Block a Month. So you'll be able to find it in there and go back. But if you're looking for certain measurements, that's why I'm going to email them to you if you want it, so you don't have to go through all the chatter just to get to, you know, one measurement that you needed or whatever. But I did a little snippet with my mom last weekend. Was it last weekend? She did great. She loved it. She had so much fun, and she got such a kick out of the comments. So I don't know. I hope to have her on camera again, but every Sunday I'm going to post, read one of my mom's articles from Shirley's Cottage, one of her old articles, and then share the recipe. Maybe one day I'll have time to make one of the recipes or show it to you. What works better for me is have somebody else make it, like my sister's bread pudding, and then share the recipe. I didn't have it written down, but again, the bread pudding was, do you need to see it again? Oh gosh, look at that. Oh man. Go to foodnetwork.com. This is not Weight Watchers. Not even the raisin is Weight Watchers. Anyway, go to foodnetwork.com and put in bread pudding, and it will come up best bread pudding. And what else was I going to say? So watch for my mom's. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Hold on. There's too much going on, so I still don't have my pillow done. I have it sitting on a pillow, but I still don't have the back or my tassels done. But please subscribe, thumbs up, and ring the bell. I understand why people say that, because you see that people watch, but then if you don't get a comment or a thumbs up, you think, oh, well, they probably didn't like it. But for myself, I have found when I go on YouTube, even before I start watching a video, I hit the like button, because I know when I watch it and then I flip it so I can see it bigger, and then it ends, I flip it back up, and then I forget to hit like. So I hit like even before it starts, and I think, even if I don't like it, I'm gonna like it, because that's the kind thing, that's the kind thing to do. They're out there putting the video out, they're, you know, sharing themselves, so I'm gonna like it, whether I really liked it or not. Most of the time I do. So am I asking you to like the video, even if you didn't or not? Kind of, I am. So, but I understand now, I'm getting more of a feel of what the importance is of the subscribe and like and all that stuff. So will this be cute when I get it done? I think so. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. You know what I'm going to do? 60, party hardy. My son's coming. Jim got Papa Murphy's Thai chicken pizza, family thin crust. We're gonna have wine, and one of my very, very favorite movies that I had as my family's Christmas movie, which it really isn't, but it is Funny Farm with Chevy Chase. If you guys don't know that movie, or if you haven't seen it for years, oh my gosh, give yourself a treat. So tonight, it's gonna be all that good stuff. Fire, wine, my boys, pizza, dessert. Oh, I think Jim bought pumpkin pie. So tomorrow, Weight Watchers, are you with me? Okay, let me know. All right, thanks. I hope you all have a really good day. Bye.